Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be doing an Amiibo review, and in front of me is the Duck Hunt Amiibo. This is the first Smash Bros. Amiibo I've ever gotten, and I got this one back in August of 2025. And well, this is a review. Also, by the way, I'm not going to be reviewing based off of which ones are my favorite. I'm just going to be reviewing by honesty and by things other people have said about this Amiibo here. So, right off the bat, we have very well detailed, I can say. We have a very, glassy touch for the duck, and as for the, kind of style of it, it's not a bad style. For the style, I would say I would probably give it a good 5 out of 10. And the reason being is because, well, it's kind of basic. I'm going to be honest. They could have added a little more style to this. But, again, not going to complain. This is what they could give us. They did give us quite a bit of detail here. But, from other people, as, Duck Hunt is not really a video game pick, as a lot of people don't really main this character or play as this character. So, that's pretty much what I think about it. It could have been a little more, but not gonna complain. Alright, the next one we have here is the Mr. Game & Watch Amiibo. So, there's 3 other pieces to this, but I have currently taken it apart, and I have it somewhere, and I can't really look for them at the moment, but this is what we're working with. So, we have the 2D look of Mr. Game & Watch here, or as they try to make it 3D, but he is a 2D character, so they couldn't really do much about it. So they just try to, try to put the piece in. Let me try to take it out. It's kind of hard one-handed, but here is how you can replace them. This is a cool figure. This is a very cool figure because you can take them out, replace them, put the extra in. If you want to know what the other pieces look like, I'll put it on screen. But, yeah, so this is the Mr. Game & Watch. I would going to give this one a good 8.5 out of 10. And the reason being is because, kind of similar to the other, Amiibo that the Duck Hunt one, it's kind of similar where it's kind of basic, but, again, better detailed, well-formed, and I like the idea where you can take it out and, put other figures in at the same time. I think that's more of a unique style for Amiibos, and I don't think any other Amiibo can do that. So, that's why, I'd say the 8.5 is valid. And, well, as for the Mr. Game & Watch character, pretty good. Pretty good in the games, Good recovery, good everything, so 8.5 out of 10. Alright, next up we have the Rob Amiibo. And right off the bat, you can see that, he's turning sideways. He has his arms. They added the little thing for him, and they added all the extra details for him and whatnot. It's a pretty cool one. In terms of overall look, it's definitely very interesting. It could definitely... It's definitely good. Definitely solid. I like how the eyes kind of glare. Now, I would give this one a 9 out of 10. And it's not out of favoritism. It's more of the sight of, they could have changed the move of him. Instead of him, I like the idea of him looking sideways and whatnot, but I think they could have been a little more creative with the arms, and they could have had it stretched out, and instead of his head turned, they could have had it facing forward, so it made more sense. But I like how they're trying to copy the idea of the original Rob, and I think it's cool. 9 out of 10. definitely solid for sure. As for Rob in the video games, he's definitely a good character, definitely solid, definitely a combo destroyer for sure. For any Rob mains out there, this is definitely a good pick for you. I would say I'd definitely recommend this. Alright, and last one for today's video is the Ness Amiibo. Now, right off the bat, it looks solid, looks pretty cool, but I would sadly have to give this one a 6 out of 10. And the reason being is because, well, I like the idea that they have him pointing forward, you know what I mean, like pointing. But his signature move is the bat. So, not to be picky, and, this is not out of favoritism once again, like I've said. This is not because I don't like Ness. I think it's more of the idea that they could have been more creative with this. I think that, they could have added the bat, and, they could have had this arm right here and have him holding the bat right here. I think that would have been definitely a better pick for him. But, it's not a bad figure. I like the detail in this. I like how they added his backpack and the hat and everything. And, like, they tried the best that they could, and everything like that. But, as for Ness in the video games. So, Ness is definitely, a pretty solid character. I would say he's not really as difficult to learn. But, come to think of it, his recovery is not really the greatest. So, that's why he is currently a 6 out of 10. I wouldn't say he has the worst recovery out there, but his recovery is not beginner friendly. So I would definitely, I might recommend this for the people who definitely are a fan of Ness and, the overall idea of Ness. But as for a beginner, I would reconsider this. But that's all for, today's video. These are all of the ones that I had reviewed. So, thank you so much for watching this video. If you do, like and subscribe, comment, as always. And, well, I'll see you on part 2 of the Amiibo review series.